In today's video, we're going to discuss the top 10 lessons that I learned as a real estate investor over the course of the past 10 years. I just passed the first decade of being a real estate investor, and I'm happy to share some of the lessons that I learned. If you're new to my channel, my name is Koukun and I run a real estate team and I'm a real estate investor. You can learn more about us using some of the links in the description below where we have some free guides you can check out. All right, so over the past 10 years, I've actually purchased 10 rental properties, 7 of which I did in partnerships of one kind or another. Some were with my brother, some were with my entire family, and others with, external joint venture partners. And the final 3 I just did on my own, where I purchased it with solely myself and my wife on title. So the first lesson is focus on quality. When you're buying real estate, you always have to run your numbers in order to see if a deal makes sense. But it's important not to get too focused on the numbers and lose sight of, are you buying a quality asset or not? Is the home in a decent area? Is it going to attract a decent tenant profile? Is the home in good shape? Is it going to be something that's going to cause you problems down the road? Or is it going to be, a really high quality property? It's very easy to overlook quality because it's not a number. You can't quantify it based on a number. So it's easy for especially those of you who are more an engineering type of mind, where you like to run your numbers, run your spreadsheets to solely focus on that. But I've seen many mistakes made in real estate investing by just doing that. One of the mistakes I made early on was buying a rundown duplex for $270,000, when on the same day that I saw that property, there was a beautiful bungalow for $400,000 in a much better area, where the construction cost to turn it into a legal duplex would have been less than the property we bought, and we would have ended up with a higher quality property. It would have appreciated more, we'd get more rents, a higher tenant profile, and yeah, we made the mistake by buying the cheaper property that sort of penciled in better numbers. The second lesson is you have to be tough but fair, especially when you're dealing with tenants. They are your customer, they're not your friend, they're not your family. You have to treat them fairly, but you have to be tough, especially when they don't hold up their end of the bargain. For example, if they're not paying rent or if they're damaging the property, you must enforce your standards. And if they're not paying rent, you have to take them to the landlord and tenant board. You can't constantly give them another chance to catch up if it results in you losing out on rent, because if you're buying a property with a mortgage, you have expenses you need to cover as well, so you need to enforce those standards. The first tenant that I ever rented out the first property to paid rent for 3 months, stopped paying rent shortly after, and he didn't pay for 3 months before I took him to the landlord tenant board. As soon as he got the notice, he left immediately, but I lost out on 3 months of rent just trying to wait for him to catch up. Number 3, you have to be prepared. As a real estate investor, you need to know what are the strategies that are working in the market right now. You need to learn, you need to talk to other investors, you need to research online, you need to, call realtors, call mortgage brokers, understand what are the strategies that will make sense for you especially, and learn about them as much as possible. Especially in the beginning, you are in the research phase. If you start a new career, you're gonna learn the basics of the industry, the basics of what that career is gonna entail. You're gonna talk to other people who are experienced in that. The same applies for real estate investing. And number 4, you have to be quick. When a great deal comes along, you have to take action quickly, because other investors are also going to see the opportunity and the potential in that opportunity. Very rarely are you going to have an opportunity that no one else can see. So if you are prepared, that allows you to take action quickly when a deal comes up. But part of it is being prepared before the opportunity shows up. Number 5, you have to be patient. This can be before purchasing the property. So while you're preparing yourself, you have to be patient and wait for the right opportunity to come. So even though you have to be quick when the opportunity comes, you have to know what is a good opportunity. You can't simply buy the first property you see. And that being said, after you purchase the property, you have to have a long-term orientation. The best real estate investors are the ones, who buy a property and almost forget about it. They make sure it's taken care of, they make sure the tenants are happy, but they just leave it alone for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And over those long periods of time, you get the real benefits of owning real estate. Number 6, you have to be resilient. Now, I talk about owning a property for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. When you own real estate for a long period of time, so even myself, just in the past 10 years, I have experienced my fair share of issues. Everything that I feared would happen or could happen has happened. In fact, it's been worse. I've had multiple tenants not pay rent for 3 months, 6 months. I've had a construction project that was supposed to take 3 months, take a year and 3 months and be over budget, and I've had to pay the mortgage for that year and 3 months. I've had a pipe burst in my property. There's all sorts of challenges that can and especially will happen to you if you own real estate over a long period of time, and that's okay. That's part of this endeavor. You have to know that it's going to happen. You have to have the financial resources, the savings, or the ability to earn an income to fund it, and just be prepared and be mentally resilient that when it happens, you're gonna deal with it. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna live to see another day. Number 7, be respectful. And what I mean by this is, in the process of investing in real estate, you're gonna deal with realtors, mortgage brokers, lawyers, home inspectors. You're gonna have a full team that behind you that you need to work with in order to be successful in real estate investing. One thing that I found very helpful is to treat the people you work with respectfully. So, if they send you an invoice for the work they've done, pay them on time. If they're giving you a quote for work to do, it's best not to nickel and dime them. If the price is a fair price and they provide a good quality service, pay a fair price, keep the relationship cordial, and treat them with respect. What I find is, if you treat the people who serve you with respect, they're gonna go above and beyond for you. When you're having those challenges where you need to be resilient, you can call your team, the people helping you in all the different areas of real estate, to give you advice, to help you out while you go through tough times, because you've treated them with respect, you've built relationships with them. If you burn every bridge with the people you work with, when you're facing tough times, who's really gonna be in your corner? Number 8, you need to take ownership. So again, even though you're being respectful to your team, the people who are in your corner helping you, ultimately, this is your property. You care about it more than anyone else. They can give you advice. They can even take some of the work off your plate. Like, if your realtor is finding a property for you, if your mortgage broker is taking care of finding the mortgage, if your property manager is managing the property for you, they're taking the work off your plate, but it is still your property. You're the investor. You're the one who's going to care the most, and you need to stay involved in order for it to go well. You can't expect someone else to care about your investing more than you. Number 9, be cautious. Now, in the beginning, when you're starting in real estate investing, many times investors are too cautious. They don't want to pull the trigger. They don't want to put the first offer to get the ball rolling. But what I've seen on the flip side is, as you scale up your investing, as you buy a few more properties, as you get more experience, it's very common that real estate investors who achieve a certain level of success try to keep it going at the same pace, or even be more aggressive, take on more debt, do strategies that may be more risky. And one thing I've learned, especially closer to the end of this 10-year period, given the last year or two, we've seen the interest rate increases, we've seen what can happen on the flip side of real estate investing when things don't go well, is you want to have some sort of cautious element to your investing. You don't need to grow at the pace that you did when you were getting started, or at the pace that someone else is doing. Decide for yourself what are the risks you're willing to take, and it's okay to be on the cautious side if that's going to help you be resilient and really stay in the game long term. Number 10, keep your day job. I see so many investors or hopeful investors come to me, talk to me about, hey, I want to start real estate investing so I can quit my job and do this full time. I've seen very few people pull this off successfully. Our real estate team has helped probably over 300 transactions when it comes to buying and selling properties, many of which were rental properties over the past 6 years. Very few of our clients are full-time real estate investors, and many of our more successful real estate investor clients have a day job. They have a career. They have a stream of income they can rely on to cover their living expenses, to save money, to allow them to invest in real estate on the side, and to be patient, to allow it to just grow for them long term. Those who are trying to quit their day job to make a business out of it, it is very challenging to have a long-term orientation when you need income from the property in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. And it really forces you to make decisions that are not ideal for real estate investing. What you can do, like myself or like a few of the people I know, is to join the real estate industry and perform a specific service as a day job while investing, again, on the side. Even for myself now, running our real estate team is my day job. This is the work that I do, day in, day out. My real estate investments are things that I do on the side. I do focus a lot on them. I do think about them a lot, but it's not supporting our day-to-day expenses, and I'm able to keep the properties that I own for the long term by allowing it to just be a side investment. I hope you found these 10 lessons helpful. Let me know in the comments below what's your favorite lesson of these 10, or if anything stood out to you that you'd like to mention. Until next time, all the best.